at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
This is On the Block with Strick and Bach. Nebraska Basketball Hall of Famer and 9-year NBA vet, Eric Strickland.
Strickland for three! And you're going to go out of here as the Big 8 tournament champion.
93.7 The Ticket veteran and Bill Callahan Fan Club president, Jake Bakoven.
I love Billy.
Coming at you live from the Coppel Chevrolet GMC studios in the heart of Lincoln, America. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Sponsored by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. This is On the Block with Strick and Bach. Hold up.
Happy Friday to everybody out there. This is On the Block on 93.7 The Ticket. We are with you every weekday, Monday through Friday, 4 to 6 here locally in Lincoln, Nebraska. Of course, you can listen to us in a variety of ways now on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, obviously all the podcast downloads that you can find, theticketfm.com. So a lot of different ways, but at least in Midwestern time, 4 to 6 here. As I am Jake Bachman, and I welcome in my partner, Strick, longtime NBA vet, of course, a Husker Hall of Famer as well. Strick, how you doing today?
I'm hanging in there, Boxster. It is a wonderful day. I'm looking forward to obviously, Fridays are some of the best days that we have outside of Thirsty Thursdays. I think that we're creating just wonderful things that we're starting to build here on the block, and it's always good. The interviews that we're able to get, people that were able to come on to give their perspectives about the show. We're going to have another one today. We're going to be creating Fit Talk Friday, where we can just kind of just get on and discuss some topics in the areas of wellness, health, fitness, even some economic health. You know what I mean? Like, we'll just have different people in different times to come on a segment for us, just to give the listeners something to grasp and take through the weekend, until they come back and see us again on the block. But it's going to be fun. Our block party's always fun. The groups that we get together, obviously Mike Melby as well as Tom Stevens comes on and joins us. Sometimes we'll have some groups come on and just join us on the block. So it's fun, man. I'm excited about what we're having today. Casey Carter is going to join us in the second hour around 5:45. Aluva is a product that I have been looking into and endorsing and doing some work with them. So they're going to join us on the block and share some wonderful things about what they have to offer in helping areas of our gut and leaky gut and just different things like that. That's, we deal with a lot of things, man. Everything is good, ain't in the food. That's why I'm wondering why at this time, Bach, what's going on with these athletes? Like, how does Bryce James go from 4'10" to 6'8" in 2 days?
Yeah, he's gonna.
How does that happen, bro? It's in the chicken nuggets or something. It's something going on.
Yeah.
It's some spiked chicken these days. So, boy, if I was tasting it back then, I might not have been 6'3", I might have been 6'6", and like my son, and I probably would have been all right about now.
Of course, I'm looking forward to Fit Talk Friday. I don't think it's necessarily going to be fit, but some people think mentally your mental health can be helped, and Aaron Rodgers attempted to help his mental health recently with some psychedelic drugs. He said it's led to the best season of his career. Obviously, he's back-to-back MVP. It's kind of interesting. What did you kind of take away from that Aaron Rodgers story? It's kind of a weird offseason. He's getting weird tattoos and talking about taking psychedelic drugs. Of course, this becoming off the year was a year where he was I forget the way he put it, but unvaccinated and kind of going back and forth between Packers management with that. He's a hell of a player. He's getting older. I get all that, but he's getting kind of weird.
Well, see, and the thing about sports is there's two components that happen in sports, right? In your younger days, you have in some instances what they call Samson syndrome, where when you remember Samson in the Bible, where every time he got into trouble, there's stories about him. Every time he got into trouble, he always had an exit strategy, and it usually involved his strength or his virility. You know what I mean? And with us, when we're younger and we're playing, we feel like we're untouchable, we're unstoppable. i.e., things that happen like with, Henry Ruggs and situations like that. We just think that, we're superheroes, right? And then you have all the shows and the Iron Mans and all the Spider-Mans. You have all the shows showing that you're a superhero, and you yourself feel you're that in your youth. And then when you get older, then there becomes a change, right? You start looking for either money security or you're looking for championship legacy. And so then you transition into that. And then you get towards the tail end of your career. Then you get to, I don't give a beep. That's kind of how the cycle. I think Aaron Rodgers has been, beaten up, looked over, talked about. You dealt with all these different issues throughout your career. And then it just gets to a point where you've solidified yourself. Your legacy is complete. Your bag is intact. Yes. You look at your Mannings and you look at your Tom Brady. They're the GOAT. I'm in the top 5 category. Beat you. I'm gonna do what I do. And that's I think that's where Aaron Rodgers falls in that category right now.
Yeah, it's just strange. We know that his relationship with his parents and his brother hasn't been good for years. There's always something about his dating life. Apparently, his latest girlfriend maybe have kind of got him into the psychedelic stuff. But I don't know. We'll see. I mean, is
it a peyote moment? It's going and sitting in the teepees, and then you're having the peyotes, and then you fall into the trance. And is that what we're talking? Are we talking the peyote?
Oh, yeah, he drinks some tea. He went over and drank some tea somewhere.
Peyote tea. Okay.
Yeah, there you go. So we'll see kind of what that has, what comes from that. Just Aaron Rodgers being weird, and that's actually seems to be quite normality now these days. But we also have Scott Frost hit the podium today and all but declared Casey Thompson the starter. Let's get to that quote here before, because it's one thing to have me tell you that, but we can get to Scott Frost saying it as well. And Frost had a lot of different things to say, but here's that specific quote. He kind of talks about Casey Thompson a little bit before basically saying it's his job to lose.
Yeah. Casey had an off-season procedure done on his thumb. I got to tell you, his play has really risen since spring, and I think that had something to do with it. We got a lot of quarterbacks playing well right now, but I've been really pleased with what I've seen from Casey, and we'll let him keep working. And right now, it's his job to lose.
So there you have it. I mean, I think it's something that we all kind of figured, but they've kind of been hesitant to really say straightforward. And from there, it's good also to hear the surgery on the thumb. He's looking better from spring to fall. Maybe that's why they didn't play him so much in the spring game, because he didn't want to get a bad feeling for how he was playing or whatever. I still would have liked him to chuck one deep to Trey Palmer, but that's just me. I think entertaining the fans should be part of the spring game as well. But in any case, surprised that at this point, you're still 3 weeks away, that he says that, or how did you read that? Did you basically read that as him proclaiming him the starter, or do you kind of think he's still holding out the chance that somebody else might come in there and fight him off?
No, I think at this point it's pretty evident that that's what we're looking at. We're looking at Casey Thompson's definitely going to be the guy taking the snaps. He's going to get the number 1 reps. He's going to lead the charge, I think, into these first 3 games. I think these first 3 games are evaluation games for Casey Thompson. I think they're going to be ones that they're looking at intently to see how he's managing aspects of the game, controlling the game, running the game, leading the team, doing all of those things within these first 3 games. And then I think the solidification of that is going to come in the Oklahoma game. If he plays very well, I think it's going to bode well for him and what goes on forward. I still think there should be some discussions with the quarterback room with regards to any struggles, any setbacks, anything. Don't be discouraged, but we're going to give this guy another look, or we're going to give this guy a quarter, or we're going to give this guy, 2 sets. So that way it's understood, and that way you don't get frustrated by the fact that you're thinking you're looking over your shoulder or somebody. No, it's your job. And I think that's what, Coach Frost alluded to by saying it's his to lose. And so I think that's the way to look at it at this point.
Yeah, and I think it's interesting too because Coach Frost's a smart guy. He knows when he says something like that, that's probably how it's going to be interpreted. And I got to believe that was strategic, right? Like it's about time to say, okay, let's start rallying. So the team knows. Let's start rallying around Casey. We're starting to solidify. He said some other stuff we'll get to later. Certain spots on the offensive line. There's a lot of positions still open and battling, but at some point, especially with quarterback, you want to know what you're getting into, especially the week 0 game. It's smart to get this prepared. And something Nathan's been saying all offseason is that he thought it should be pretty much proclaimed pretty early so that you can kind of rally around him. And it has happened. You wait, practice number 8, I believe, is what they had today. They got a scrimmage going for tomorrow. So, they're not going to release a depth chart. They didn't announce him the starter, but by saying it's his job to lose, I think they did everything but that. Here's Scott Frost today again at the presser, the podium today after practice. He was asked if Casey has separated himself from the other quarterbacks.
I don't know if he separated himself. He's just played well. Other guys have played well too. He's obviously the guy with the most experience that we have. I want him to keep getting better. I want all the guys to keep getting better. We got really good players around, whoever's going to be quarterback, but seeing a lot of consistency and just you can tell he's experienced because he does some things that young quarterbacks don't do.
Well, there you have it. There you hear again, Scott Frost after the press conference today, and kind of doing what you were kind of saying is maybe kind of leaving it open, letting the other quarterbacks know they're doing well as well. But so not yet. We're not ready to say that he's separated himself from the pack. So that's kind of interesting too. Is what role is the backup quarterback kind of figuring going into the season? Is it mop up duty? Is it or do you have a package for him? Do you have something where if you see Chuba Purdy as more of your bigger running quarterback threat, maybe you have a red zone package or something for him. I wouldn't be shocked to see something like that. Though I do think they have a lot more faith in Casey in the red zone and passing than they did obviously with Adrian, which didn't work out as well all the time.
Well, I also think when I look at this whole thing, right, I think they're looking at these first 3 games and speaking in to the team about probably this. Go out and blast these teams. Do not take them lightly. Do not look over them. Do not look from week 1 to week 2. You go out there, handle business quarter to quarter, winning the first quarter, winning the third quarter, and pounding teams in the fourth quarter so that you get back to a mentality of dominance, right? This will leave room for those quarterbacks to get work. Handle first team your business, then give the other parts of your teammates options and opportunities to be able to get out there and perform and continue to build on what you were able to put together. I think those are some of the conversations I would really be having in the collective of those groups coming together. I would really be speaking in those terms. Go out there, handle business, no plays off. You've got help. We're gonna send somebody, and know that somebody, if you're not doing your job, is gonna come in and fill your spot. If you're not putting in the effort, you're not putting in the work, you're not putting in, expending that energy. I think that's an important point that they need to look at in order to, especially in these first 3 games.
Yeah, and generally in fall camp too, they're kind of getting prepared for the season, and then once you get closer to leaving fall camp into prep for Northwestern, that's when they'll really start getting into that. But you wonder if they maybe use a few practices in fall camp to kind of start getting ready for Northwestern as well. I think there's an interesting dynamic there, Strake, and I don't know if you've been on a team where this would kind of fit in that category, where you have to think that the focus, I mean, just the whole fresh coat of paint, the different coaches and players that they brought in, and Frost talked about that too, and we'll get to that here in a bit. But all of that kind of coming in, the focus has got to be locked and ready to go and zeroed in on Northwestern. And you coming off that 3-9 season, you think you'd be hungry as heck. At the same time, they destroyed Northwestern. I mean, they so how do you think as whether you've been in that position or not, how do you kind of balance out to keep that hunger to avenge last season, at the same time not taking the team light when you head over to Ireland, and they're talking about making it all business when you destroyed that team, when that's the one team you do feel like you did, you got everything that you needed done against them last year in Memorial Stadium.
Exactly, right? That's a setup. And so with that in mind, I look to those other games that they did lose to. Your Illinois. Oh yeah. So I focus on the previous year. I focus on game 1 of last year. I'm not focusing on Northwestern, who they were, what we thought they were, or how we beat them or dominated them last year. I'm looking at game 1. Game 1s of the last 2 years were in essence failures, I think. I think they're failures. And so when you look at it from that standpoint, focus on that. And then that allows the focus to be shifted to, we haven't taken care of businesses in week 1. This is another week 0 opportunity for us to change that and start to set the pattern of a snowball effect downhill of W's, hopefully.
Yeah. It's kind of funny too. Off the text line, Thunder says, did Scott Frost have an opening statement today? Of course, making a joke from Big Ten Media Days. I think he did. I guess I don't know. I wasn't there, but we're just kind of reading the press conference clippings. I think that he came out and said some stuff before going to questions, but maybe he didn't. I think that would probably be kind of funny. But I mean, he was like, they got this stuff planned out. It's not like, surprise, Scott Frost is going to talk to you today. Scott Frost was prepared to do this, so I think he probably didn't. And he didn't have questions before like he did at Big Ten Media Days, which is probably why he chose not to do an opening statement.
Well, Bach, here's the thing, though. I think that was interested, not necessarily that we should be interested in or to take a look at based off the conference. Off the press conference, right? Mm-hmm. He talked about the running back room. He expressed how each of those guys are performing very well. They're from one day to the next. There's another guy that's stepping forward and stepping up and handling business. And that he basically said there's a lot of capable bodies at that position. That's a positive. Okay. But it also speaks to Applewhite in raising the level of expectancy in that room. Okay. So they know where they want to go, but we just don't know what we're going to get out of it. But we just know that there's probably going to be some turnover opportunities in that room, probably depending on what the game plans are for each week, right? The other thing he talked about is NIL, that he's happy about NIL for the players. He also probably set an understanding in the locker room with regards to there are going to be some guys that are pretty happy. There are going to be some guys that are pretty satisfied. They're doing well. And there's going to be some that are not at a certain level. And he looks like he's trying to mitigate some of those problems that can happen internally in the locker room. It seems like he's addressing those things. I don't know how, but you can just tell by the way he speaks about it. But he also expressed that his guys in the NIL companies are doing very well. They're doing an unbelievable job. And it has helped to attract the kind of talent that is giving the depth to the Nebraska football team that they haven't had in a while. And so we're going to see how that plays out. These first 3 games are important in that process of understanding really where they are as a team. Really, have they shored up those areas of concern? And also, do they have the depth that we perceive that they have at this point?
Yeah, and I find that NIL discussion just fascinating because it is, we're still kind of in the initial stages of what is the locker room effect going to be of that. And it just feels like Nebraska's locker room's all on the same page. And sometimes, that's always kind of the offseason talk, but you kind of feel it. I honestly do believe it to be a little bit more true this year, maybe just because of the conversations that they've heard and had with some of the current players. But it just feels like there's a little bit more of a togetherness. And I think they feel that way. So I'm going to go ahead and trust the guys from inside the locker room. But it's fascinating because this past year, and we kind of saw this, maybe with Casey Rogers in particular, with the NIL stuff, you're not going like as a returning player, you're going to get, certain, you maybe can get a deal with a local company or whatever, but you're not going to have the collectives get together and offer you a big amount of money. if you're a commodity already at the school. But if you're a commodity in the transfer portal, well, then you're going to get bidded for, and you're going to get all these opportunities through NIL. And I think that's why a lot of guys hit the transfer portal. A lot of guys decided to go out there just because they didn't want to miss their chance, just because of the timing. Because in high school, they didn't get the opportunity to do the NIL thing. And if you've noticed, as we've seen, I know you and Nate talked about the poll that they did among college athletes and college administrators and coaches. And it was kind of like the NIL has geared a lot more toward pay for play. And so I think that there's kind of two thoughts there. One is that eventually it's going to settle down. It's going to be kind of like a professional locker room where it's the same idea. You've got guys making vast amounts of different type of money. And you've got it, like, it helps kind of define roles to a degree. But it is what it is. And professional locker rooms have dealt with that for years. But I think it might take a little bit of time to get there, because there are guys that just feel like, maybe they're more of a commodity than somebody that was added in the transfer portal, but they don't have the NIL opportunities that they had just because of the timing. And so I think it might, just because of the newness of it, just because of those lack of opportunities and for being loyal, there might be some type of feeling the other way about different guys. Now, whether that happens in Nebraska's locker room or across the country, I'm sure it'll happen somewhere. But hopefully, Scott Frost, part of his job is to kind of limit that as much as he can. It sounds like things are going pretty well along those lines.
Yeah, and that's the thing that we can only hope for. We're just hoping that it's able to be put on the field and not just talked about in the locker room. Sutter Heyman text line is always open to you, our listeners, 402-464-5685. What do you think about what Scott Frost had to say today? We'd love to hear from you. Do you think it's just talk, or do you think it's he's doing a good job of managing the locker room as a CEO role, as opposed to being the guy and allowing them to do their jobs and their different coaches, the different coaches in their coaching rooms? So we'll see. 402-464-5685. Unfortunately, we got to take a break right now. We'll come back after this, and we'll talk a little bit on the next segment about Kyler Murray. How easy it is to be the head player or the head coach in charge when it comes to calling plays. We'll be back, and we'll talk about that on the next segment here on The Block. Thank you, Blockheads, for listening in. We'll be right back.
Early break with Sip and Jake.
You look at those big tackles they have mammoth tackles. Neither of those guys are particularly nimble. Bryce Benhart is never going to be confused with Allen Iverson.
No, I don't think that he will. That's the first time in history and forever going forward that Allen Iverson will be in the same sentence as Bryce Benhart.
They better be able to mash.
Early break with Sip and Jake from 6 to 8 every weekday morning.
Steve's Garage Doors and Services is under new management, but has the same great service as before. If your current garage door seems outdated or isn't working properly, call their new number at 402-480-2840 to schedule service or get a new door ordered. Steve's can repair most types of garage doors and can always point you in the right direction to get the job done. Give Steve's Garage Doors and Services a call today at 402-480-2840. That's 402-480-2840.
Your home should not be a zoo to unwelcomed animals. Let the experts at Bats to Rats take care of those problems. Dane has been a leader in wildlife and pest management and prevention in Lincoln and the surrounding area for 15 years. He can help you get rid of bats, rodents, and anything else. Whether it's residential or commercial buildings, schools, apartments, or churches, they're always a phone call away. Call today at 402-310-0904 or visit batsterats.com. Bats to Rats Wildlife Control and Prevention.
Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. It's soul food right here in Lincoln. Ribs, wings, catfish, coleslaw, cornbread, grits. I mean, I'd say it's food like your grandma used to make, but my grandma never made food like that. If you haven't already, you've got to give it a try. Check out their location across from South Point at 27th and Pine Lake, or find their food truck at events all over town, or visit them online at maryellens.com to see the full menu. Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. Let them fix you a plate.
There's nothing quite like the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese Beef. The Mercado offers unique ingredients you can't find anywhere else, open every day from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. The full-service butcher shop and retail store is wonderful for meat lovers with their exclusive certified Piedmontese beef and assorted sausages, plus other quality meats, including pork, chicken, and a wide range of the freshest seafood. Plus, every Friday from 11 to 2, the Mercado serves up the best lunch in town on their Friday Feast menu. Stop in at the Mercado today at 84th and Havelock or visit their website at cpmercado.com to see current deals.
Problem gambling can destroy an individual's finances, relationships, physical, and mental health. If you are a loved one or struggling with addiction, contact Choices Treatment Center's 24-hour helpline at 402-476-2300. That's 402-476-2300.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Coppell Chevrolet GMC, and things are cooking in Louisville. Right now, our pre-owned sales are off the charts, and we have loaded up the lots full of inventory. We've got a great supply of Sierras, Silverados, Tahoes, Yukons, and crossovers. Plus, we've got a great supply of back-to-school cars just in time for the big day. Don't forget about all of those new 2022 and 2023 units arriving every day as well. So please take that short, money-saving drive down 144th Street or shop online at CoppellCars.com. You'll be glad you did.
Steve's Garage Doors and Services is under new management, but has the same great service as before. If your current garage door seems outdated or isn't working properly, call their new number at 402-480-2840 to schedule service or get a new door ordered. Steve's can repair most types of garage doors and can always point you in the right direction to get the job done. Give Steve's Garage Doors and Services a call today at 402-480-2840. That's 402-480-2840.
Mike Shaver here for Trek CBD. Summer is here, and that means you're having garage parties with neighbors, hitting the golf course and the pool. The drink of this summer isn't your typical seltzer. It's drinkable Delta 8. Yep, Trek CBD has drinkable Delta 8 seltzers with mango and lime flavors for 4-packs, 12-packs, coming in a variety of mango, watermelon, lime, and berry. They also have hemp-derived Delta 9 syrups to put in your beverages, and as always, the excellent Delta 8 gummies. Trek CBD at 84th and Andermatt and TrekCBD.com. Trek CBD, CBD done right.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by Security First Bank, a relationship you can count on.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, sunny and hot. It'll be a little breezy up there, too. We'll see a high of around 97. Tonight, mostly clear skies. We'll be staying warm with an overnight low of around 79. And tomorrow, mostly sunny skies in the forecast again. Breezy and even hotter tomorrow. We'll see an afternoon high of around 102. I'm meteorologist Kyle Klecker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We stand on the shoulders of women who came before us.
Women who fought for their own financial futures.
And now it's our turn.
Join us. Visit WeSaySaveIt.org and take control of your financial future by saving for retirement.
A message from AARP and the Ad Council.
Back to On the Block with Strick and Bach on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We're back here on the block on a Friday. They know what Friday usually means here on the block. It means a block party. So we've got the guys from Husker Rewind, Tom Stevens and Mike Melby set to join us here in about 25 minutes. And with the block party, we're always looking to get new voices on as well. And we're starting a little thing called Fit Talk Friday. So here in about an hour, we'll also welcome Casey Carter of Aluva on as well. So that's what we've got on the docket here on the block. But I did want to talk a little bit about Arizona Cardinals quarterback Kyler Murray. Two different stories that I think are kind of funny for the Arizona's quarterback, who, of course, signed his big extension this offseason. A little bit of a battle, public dispute with the Arizona Cardinals and management this offseason. If you remember, kind of taking off his Instagram photos or any connection to the Arizona Cardinals. Now he's back in full swing. And, of course, recently actually tested positive for COVID-19, which it seems to be back a little bit, making its way around the country. But in any case, Murray, the story that I wanted to get to is before he tested for COVID-19, Murray was taking a break on a Saturday before, the Saturday before on practice. Murray was taking a break for the day, but Kingsbury wanted to give him a shot to see if he could do what Kingsbury does, because apparently sometimes Kyler Murray gets frustrated about the play calling. So he had Murray go back there and call the plays for the backup quarterbacks. It was just kind of funny. Some of the quotes coming out of it, Kingsbury said, "I just wanted to know that, hey, this bleep ain't easy." every now and then he starts shaking his head when I'm calling in there, and I'm like, all right, big dog. So I gave him the shot. And he ended up saying, I would not want to play for Kyler Murray if I was a quarterback and he was the coach, because Kyler apparently was speaking into the helmet speaker, so speaking all the way into the play and continued talking to the quarterback. So Kyler Murray maybe has a long way to get to his coaching career, and hopefully has a long playing career before then. But what do you think about this approach from Cliff to say, you know what, if you don't like my play calling all the time, here's what I'm dealing with. Here's how hard of it. A lot of different ways to break that down. How do you read that story?
Well, first of all, let's be honest about it, right? It is important right now to understand that Kingsbury and Murray, they must get on the same page for this 2022 NFL season, right? 2022-23 NFL season.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, both of those two are facing, tremendous critical the eyes of the critiques are upon them, let's just say, right? They both face critiques in different ways. We all know that Kyler Murray had the clause that was in there that spoke about the fact that he needed to do some study, and in doing so, giving Cliff, because that's some of the frustration that it looked like he had last year. You can see him actively telling them, hurry the F up, and just all these different things, get the play in. So there was a lot of banter going back and forth between them in last season, right? But the problem that they had is now the criticism is upon both of them for different reasons. Kyler Murray, because he just signed a huge mega deal with the Cardinals, I think upwards of $230-something million. So he's facing pressure to deliver, because now he's about to embark on the parts of the details that we talked about with teams having quarterbacks that hit a certain point as far as the money goes for their teams, being the big charge of the money amongst the teams, right? So he's coming off his rookie contract. Are they going to be able to solidify extra players? Is this going to be the run that they have to do it? And so those are the things that they have to look at there. Also, you got to look at Kingsbury. Kingsbury, they got off to last year a 7-0 start, and then all of a sudden they go 4-6. So has a track record of falling apart towards the end of seasons, right, as a coach. So his season as a coach is on the line as well. So he could easily be pushed out of a job because if he doesn't perform as well. So I think they got to get on the same page. And I think in doing this helps for understanding purposes, right? So you understand now how hard it is for us to get stuff into you, the loud, the noise, maybe something was missed and you're crunched for time. You've got all these different things that now Kyler Murray has a better understanding. I think that so he did it jokingly, right? It wasn't malicious.
This was all in fun.
Yeah, he was smiling and joking. I think you have to bring light to it, a serious situation, but yet still be able to have some joking banter in it, because otherwise it can be taken out of context and people will begin to exploit it. And then all of a sudden you're continuously bridging gaps between those two players those two people, the coach and the quarterback, which are some of the most important parts of the team.
Which, if you remember too, it's interesting because the Cardinals did kind of bring them in as a group. They had a 1-year trial with Josh Rosen. They had the same 1-year trial at the time with a different head coach. I'm forgetting his first name. Actually, Mickey Joseph's brother, Terry Joseph. But they just let them both go because they thought that this combination of getting.
Oh, you mean Vance? Vance Joseph? Vance? Oh yeah, Vance.
But in any case, they had. So they had the first pick of the draft, and they used Kyler Murray, and they thought the combination of Cliff Kingsbury and Kyler Murray, that kind of college offensive style or whatever, with the undersized guy, if there's anybody that could do it, it could be Cliff. And it just hasn't worked out all that well, especially in the second half of the seasons. At times, Kyler Murray has been in the NFL MVP front running position, after week 6 or 7, or the last couple of years. and then it all falls apart. And by the time they got to the playoffs last year, they were a shell of a team that they needed to be. And now this year, you look, go into it. Hollywood Brown just got in trouble who they spent a first-round draft pick. They traded a first-round draft pick to get Hollywood Brown from the Ravens. Just got into a little bit of trouble with, I believe, a driving, a speeding ticket or whatever, but a very, very much above the law of speeding. And then, and then you've got DeAndre Hopkins is going to be out for the first 6 games, I believe it is. So they can't afford to have any problems out of the gate, especially with the last couple of years of falling down late.
Bach, you hit something right there. You hit a nerve, because on top of the issues that they've had over the last few seasons, on top of some of the dissension that they had, and even the contract stuff, there still was a lot of controversy that was in there. So trying to, bring a little light, a little smile, a little joking into the room to hopefully bring this back together. Because at the end of the day, Arizona plays in one of the toughest divisions in the NFL. So let's not take that for granted, right? They already start their opening game against Kansas City Chiefs. That in itself is not an easy task. So you're week 1 against the Kansas City Chiefs, and then you follow up against the reigning NFL champs in Los Angeles Rams in week 3. So your first 3 weeks are 2 of the toughest teams that you're probably going to face on your schedule right off the top. So they've got to iron this thing out early on in this season in order to get off to a good start.
Well, and as we mentioned, the other thing with Kyler Murray was the contract, in his contract of studying 4 hours a week or whatever on independently. They took that out because it cost a lot of backlash. But it was kind of funny because somebody went out there and apparently looked up Kyler Murray's favorite video games, because that's part of the idea, was maybe Kyler gets a little bit too into the video games, not enough into the film. I thought this was kind of funny. I saw it on Twitter. Somebody broke down with the statistical analysis of Kyler Murray's performance on Call of Duty double experience points weekends. So the best weekends to play Call of Duty. Apparently, his passer rating was down in those weeks. His passing yards was down. His completion percentage was down, as well as the win-loss record. Now, for what it's worth, none of these are big jumps necessarily. Like, his passer rating went down from a 97.43 to an 89.65. That's probably the biggest jump there. The win-loss record goes from 18-16-1 to 4-7. So about a 53% win percentage down to about a 36. So some of that stuff is kind of a bigger jump, but some of it's not as much. Like the completion percentage went down like 67.929 to 67.17. So there's certain categories that are not a big dip. Do you see any correlation there? Would you worry about Kyler Murray in the video games and the sticks?
Well, I will say this, that Kelsey, the Mississippi Mud Dog, said that if Kingsbury, I'm bringing light to the situation. If Kingsbury gets fired, do you think he still will keep his house? He basically is remembering the setup that he had during COVID. I probably would venture to say that it is a great retirement community. I say keep the house, let the bag keep stacking, and then if you need to go back there from wherever you come from, I would come back. So that's the answer to that question. Thanks for the text on that. At the Starter Heyman text line, always open to you guys, 402-464-5685. Now, I think bringing light to his situation first via the contract, although they took some punches on that when they got beat up a little bit, they recanted that, took it off the board, and so now that's over. I think the coaching situation, I think it's going to help Kyler Murray to tighten up a little bit. So I don't think he will be as game ready for the Call of Duties and the PlayStation 5. I think he'll really focus in, because that's going to be a question if he falls short of the mark. That's going to be the thing that everybody looks to. Well, maybe they should have kept the clause in there. Well, maybe it is that he's not studying. Well, maybe it is that he's not really focused on the court. He's more focused. Those questions are going to come into play if he doesn't get off to a good start and maintain some consistency, especially after getting the big bag.
Yeah, I think that's to be expected. We'll see. Some people aren't too high on the Cardinals. In fact, off our own text line, Corey says couldn't possibly want to sell more stock in any NFL team than the Cardinals. Bet the under win total. So he said he just put $100 on the 8.5 wins for the Cardinals. He's going under. So I think that's kind of fun. Shane.
Hold on. Let's go. 402-464-5685. Where you see the Cleveland Browns. Are you betting the under, or are you going over for the Cleveland Browns? What is a record that you think the Cleveland Browns, with all of the turmoil that they have right now, 6 games off, with the appeal coming, however far that may go, can Jacoby Brissett get it done? Where do the Cleveland Browns fall? I want to know.
That's a good question. Do you know what their total's set at right now? Because I would probably feel comfortable maybe around 7.5 or something.
After the next break, let's give that to him.
Yeah, let's get that to that. I know somebody else also texts in, or Shane actually texts in. He'd like us at some point to do win totals for each NFL team over and unders. So we'll try to get to that too. But for now, we'll focus on Cleveland. Again, the block party. Guys are getting ready in the other room, so that will be coming up at the 5 o'clock hour. We've got a new segment, Fit Talk Friday, with Casey Carter of Aluva. Today will be our guest. Can't wait for that. But coming up next is our usual mainstay, one of our favorite parts of the show every day. Is Shootout with Strick, your chance to win $15 to Buffalo Wings and Rings. All you got to do is call in 402-464-5685 on the Honda of Lincoln hotline and beat Strick in a game show. It's really not that hard, mostly either or questions, so don't feel intimidated just because it's Strick. I mean, he's an all-world athlete, but in any case, he has been beaten before. But he is he's hungry. He's trying to get the win. He's trying to get the chicken himself. Call in first. It's a competitive call. First person to do so will get a play today. 402-464-5685. Shootout with Strick is next.
This is your High School Minute.
With your Southeast Community College High School Minute, I'm Gus Cottle. The Millard South Patriots defeated Creighton Prep 4-3 to win their first American Legion Baseball State Tournament since 1988. After losing to Creighton Prep 8-0 and 14-0 during the A1 District Tournament, Millard South was able to meet Creighton Prep again in the state championship and claim the title. Millard South advances to the Central Plains Regional next week as the Nebraska champion. The runner-up, Creighton Prep, will also compete in the regional in Rapid City, South Dakota. Peyton Engel and Drew Miller both led Waverly to a large 17-9 win over Ogallala to claim the Class B Legion State Baseball Tournament. Engel went 3 for 5 with 4 RBIs and a pair of extra base hits, while Miller had 3 hits and drove in 4. Waverly tallied 15 hits in total. This has been your Southeast Community College High School Minute. Learn more today at southeast.edu with locations in Lincoln, Beatrice, and Milford.
Problem gambling can destroy an individual's finances, relationships, physical, and mental health. If you or a loved one are struggling with addiction, contact Choices Treatment Center's 24-hour helpline at 402-476-2300. That's 402-476-2300. Steve's Garage Doors and Services is under new management, but has the same great service as before. If your current garage door seems outdated or isn't working properly, call their new number at 402-480-2840 to schedule service or get a new door ordered. Steve's can repair most types of garage doors and can always point you in the right direction to get the job done. Give Steve's Garage Doors and Services a call today at 402-480-2840. That's 402-480-2840.
Did you know that the U.S. has added over 1,100 new breweries in the last 18 months? Learn more by shopping at Myers Cork and Bottle, 13th and South, and by tuning into Thirsty Thursdays with Kevin Myers, because sports are better with a drink in your hand and a friend at your side.
The dog days summer are here. Is your yard in need of a touch-up as we head into the fall season? August, September, and October are the months for aeration, and Penner Sprinkler and Lawn is the place to call to get the job done right. If you're noticing any issues with your sprinkler system through the hot summer months, they're always a call away, and they're already scheduling installs for sprinkler systems for next year and all other lawn care needs. Call Penner Sprinkler and Lawn today at 402-413-1215.
There's nothing quite like the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese beef. The Mercado offers unique ingredients you can't find anywhere else, open every day from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. The full-service butcher shop and retail store is wonderful for meat lovers with their exclusive certified Piedmontese beef and assorted sausages, plus other quality meats, including pork, chicken, and a wide range of the freshest seafood. Plus, every Friday from 11 to 2, the Mercado serves up the best lunch in town on their Friday Feast menu. Stop in at the Mercado today at 84th and Havelock or visit their website at cpmercado.com to see current deals.
You know that feeling after a good, hearty meal? The worries of the world just slip away. Time slows down. Nothing but good times and good company. That's what you get with Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. Mary Ellen's does food right, with a menu that includes smoked wings, pulled pork, brisket, catfish. And don't sleep on their sides, shrimp and grits, collard greens, baked beans. It's food that makes your heart happy. Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul, just east of 27th and Pineland. Let them fix you a plate.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, sunny and hot. It'll be a little breezy out there, too. We'll see a high of around 97. Tonight, mostly clear skies. We'll be staying warm with an overnight low of around 79. And tomorrow, mostly sunny skies in the forecast again. Breezy and even hotter tomorrow. We'll see an afternoon high of around 102. I'm meteorologist Kyle Klecker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Your home should not be a zoo to unwelcomed animals. Let the experts at Bats to Rats take care of those problems. Dane has been a leader in wildlife and pest management and prevention in Lincoln and the surrounding area for 15 years. He can help you get rid of bats, rodents, and anything else. Whether it's residential or commercial buildings, schools, apartments, or churches, they're always a phone call away. Call today at 402-310-0904 or visit batsterats.com. Bats to Rats Wildlife Control and Prevention.
Get a lot of advice about self-care these days, but one of the most important self-care steps we can take is making sure we're financially secure later in life. For small steps you can take to save for retirement, visit WeSaySaveIt.org. A message from AARP and the Ad Council.
It's time to play Shootout with Strick. Call now, 464-5685, to take your shot against Eric Strickland. Shootout with Strick. Brought to you by Buffalo Wings and Rings.
Time to play the game!
It is all about Shootout with Strick here on the block on 93.7 The Ticket. We just need a contestant. Call in right now on the Honda Lincoln hotline, 402-464-5685. Our lucky contestant will have a chance at $15 to Buffalo Wings and Rings. All they'll have to do is beat Strick in a shootout. Usually you'd think that you're not in a very good opportunity to do that. I mean, Strick, after all, is a former NBA player. He's taken a lot of shootouts over the years. But luckily for you, it's just radio. We're not going to make you pick up a basketball. We just got some trivia for you. And Strick isn't
you win some,
as
you lose some, Bach.
Yeah. So we got Quentin on the Honda of Lincoln hotline. Quentin, today's topic is NFL offseason moves. You've been paying attention to the NFL offseason this year.
Mostly, yeah, for fantasy football reasons, yeah.
Yeah, there you go. See, that's for whatever reason it is, and that's one for many of the fans out there. That will work to your advantage here. So just hang on with us here for a second, Quentin. First, we'll get Strick's score, and then we will see if Quentin can top it and take home the chicken. All right, are you ready, Strick?
Okay.
All right, we'll go in 3, 2, and 1. Von Miller signed a deal with this team, the Bills or the Rams?
Bills.
That is correct. Khalil Mack was traded to this team, Chargers or Eagles?
Chargers.
That's correct. Allen Robinson signed with this team, Chiefs or Rams?
Rams.
That is correct. Devonta Adams was traded to this team, Titans or Raiders?
Raiders.
That is correct as well. This great would retire and 2 months later be unretired. Who was it this offseason?
Tom Brady.
There it is. Oh, you waited for the buzzer to get it. That is correct. All 6 points there for you, Strick. Did you know that one? Were you teasing us there?
I'm focused, man.
Oh,
I had to make sure. Okay, Drew Brees, no. Aaron Donald, maybe. I had to think about it a little bit.
Yeah. That was a big story there for a while. And of course, whatever happened through it, at least the Dolphins don't have an extra pick now, or one of their first round picks.
Yeah, they dropped the ball on that one.
All right, Quentin, the pressure is on. You can't miss one here. Are you ready to roll?
You bet.
All right, we'll go in 3, 2, and 1. Amari Cooper was traded to this team, Browns or Giants?
Browns.
That's correct. Matt Ryan was traded to this team, 49ers or Colts? That is correct. Russell Wilson was traded to this team, Panthers or Broncos?
Denver.
That is correct. Juju Smith-Schuster would sign with this team, Chiefs or Ravens?
Chiefs.
That is correct. And Deshaun Watson would eventually sign a contract with which team?
Browns.
There it is. Easy. You didn't even have to wait. You got 15 seconds to wait here. All 6 points there for Quentin, which means that
Quentin, they gave Quentin the easy pass.
You
They
got all
always
6.
give me the shrimp.
You got both you guys didn't miss. Both you guys are ready for
Good
your
job,
fantasy
Quentin.
football draft.
Good job.
So we got to go to the tiebreaker here. Strick will have you give us a number, and then Quentin will go over and under to see the win, see who gets the win, I should say. And then Strick, if you get it right on, you just win right there. So here we go. Matt Ryan, inarguably the best addition this offseason. This is written by our guy Nate over there. He's a big Colts fan, so exclude that portion. But anyways, Matt Ryan joined the Indianapolis Colts. How many touchdowns has Matty Ice thrown in his Hall of Fame career? How many? There's a lot of different questions, different stuff thrown in there that you could argue. How many touchdowns has Matty Ice thrown in his career?
225.
225 is Strick's answer. Quentin, it's up to you. If you go over or under here.
Man. I will go over.
Going over for Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan in his career has thrown for 367 touchdowns in his career. Therefore, Quentin, you are the winner. You did not miss a question there, and congratulations.
Boom, shakalaka.
Would you like to talk trash to Strick or just take the high road and take the chicken?
Oh, no, I'm talking trash. Look, Strick, you spent a lot of time in the NBA. You spent a lot of time at the top of the game, but today it's my time.
There you go. That's what we like to hear from you, Quentin.
I love it.
And he deserves his shout outs here, and he's going to get this because he didn't miss.
Flawless victory.
Yeah.
Yeah. I said, give me a hell yeah.
All right, there you go. Thanks again for playing, Quentin. Enjoy yourself. Some free chicken there, whatever you decide to get from Buffalo Wings and Rings. And thanks for talking trash there, because we like when opponents step up and do that. Just hang on the line here, and Nate will get your information. It is that time. It's time for the 5 o'clock hour on a Friday. That means it's time for the block party. We'll welcome in the guys from Husker Rewind. Tom Stevens and Mike Melby will join us. Coming up next year, we've got a lot more to break down from that Scott Frost press conference, and really just generally their thoughts as week 0, game 1 against Northwestern in Dublin is inching closer. So we'll get to that coming up next year on the block on 93.7 The Ticket.
There's nothing quite like the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese beef. The Mercado offers unique ingredients you can't find anywhere else, open every day from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. The full-service butcher shop and retail store is wonderful for meat lovers with their exclusive certified Piedmontese beef and assorted sausages, plus other quality meats, including pork, chicken, and a wide range of the freshest seafood. Plus, every Friday from 11 to 2, the Mercado serves up the best lunch in town on their Friday Feast menu. Stop in at the Mercado today at 84th and Havelock or visit their website at cpmercado.com to see current deals.
Hey, it's Sean Callahan, and football season is here, and there is one place that has all the games, plus great food and beer specials. Tanner's Bar and Grill at 30th and Yankee Hill. Whether it's Thursday night football, college football Saturdays, NFL Sundays, or Monday night football, there's a great view of the game from any seat with different food and drink specials every night. Try the Blue Ribbon Reuben Sandwich or the Prime Rib French Dip or any of their famous chicken wings. That's Tanner's Bar and Grill at 30th and Yankee Hill.
Problem gambling can destroy an individual's finances, relationships, physical, and mental health. If you or a loved one are struggling with addiction, contact Choices Treatment Center's 24-hour helpline at 402-476-2300. That's 402-476-2300.
93.7 The Ticket. Fox KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, sunny and hot. It'll be a little breezy out there, too. We'll see a high of around 97. Tonight, mostly clear skies. We'll be staying warm with an overnight low of around 79. And tomorrow, mostly sunny skies in the forecast again. Breezy and even hotter tomorrow. We'll see an afternoon high of around 102. I'm meteorologist Kyle Klecker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Happy Hour with Nick Sainert and Enrique Alvarez Clary.
How fast do you think we'd be able to run around the track?
Right now?
Yes. Minute and a half?
Yeah, I mean, if we're pushing it.
I can't break 90 seconds.
I mean, I'm sure you could.
Do you want to hit up a high school after the show?
I don't.
I kind of want to do it.
If you want to.
Can we go?
Yeah, after the show. I guess we're going to run a 400.
Sounds like we might run a 400.
This is a terrible idea, and I don't want to do this.
Weekdays from 2 to 3 on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
You know that feeling after a good, hearty meal? The worries of the world just slip away. Time slows down. Nothing but good times and good company. That's what you get with Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. Mary Ellen's does food right, with a menu that includes smoked wings, pulled pork, brisket, catfish. And don't sleep on their sides, shrimp and grits, collard greens, baked beans. It's food that makes your heart happy. Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul, just east of 27th and Pinewood. Let them fix you a plate.
Your home should not be a zoo to unwelcomed animals. Let the experts at Bats to Rats take care of those problems. Dane has been a leader in wildlife and pest management and prevention in Lincoln and the surrounding area for 15 years. He can help you get rid of bats, rodents, and anything else. Whether it's residential or commercial buildings, schools, apartments, or churches, they're always a phone call away. Call today at 402-310-0904 or visit batsterats.com. Bats to Rats Wildlife Control and Prevention.
Action Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electric is the call I make when I have a need for plumbing services. Whether it's for my home or office, if I need a repair to a water heater, softener, or even my garbage disposal, I know I can count on Action to help. In one simple call, their amazing customer service team promptly schedules a service call, often getting to my needs within a day. Action delivers honest quality services we can count on. To learn more, visit actionlincoln.com.
At first, I was really nervous and intimidated to buy a ring. I wasn't sure what I was getting into.
My experience at Starter Heyman was very easy. I felt like I walked out of Starter Heyman with the ring that the makers go wow and say yes.
I love my ring. It is so beautiful. I absolutely love my ring. I get compliments on it all the time. I always tell them Sarah. Yeah, we would definitely.
That was great.
Oh, shit. You better just use the word and keep Brett. If you lose that, then...
Landmark Implement, your local John Deere dealership, is searching for mechanics of all skill levels to grow with us. Landmark offers a competitive wage, full benefits package, along with paid time off within just 60 days of employment, as well as a 401k and a boot and clothing allowance. Interested in becoming a part of the Landmark difference? Apply now at landmarkimp.com/careers or contact Deanna 402-310-7561 or email careers@landmarkimp.com. That's landmarkimp.com. Landmark Implement is the equal opportunity employer.
I grew up hearing that women are bad with money, but like many of you, I spent years paying bills, managing checking accounts, and taking care of my family. So turns out women are pretty good with money after all. And now I'm taking control of my financial future by saving for retirement. It's never too late to start, and there's a great website to help you. Check out WeSaySaveIt.org and jumpstart your retirement savings on your budget and your timeline. That's WeSaySaveIt.org. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. This is On the Block with Strick and Bach. Nebraska Basketball Hall of Famer and 9-year NBA vet, Eric Strickland.
Strickland for three! And you're going to go out of here as the Big 8 tournament champion.
93.7 The Ticket veteran and Ortega connoisseur, Jake Bakoven.
I like Ortega, and I like peppers.
Coming at you live from the Coppel Chevrolet GMC studios in the heart of Lincoln, America. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Sponsored by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. This is On the Block with Strick and Bach.
We've done it. You've done it. Everybody's done it. We've made it to the weekend. That's how you know when you hear that music play. And it's time for the block party here on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. If you're following along on the Sartor Heyman Jewelers video stream, you might not see all of us. We've got a whole gang of people in here, so we can't get everybody on. But you can see myself, Eric Strickland, and Mike Melby of Husker Rewind. Also joining us, Tom Stevens of Husker Rewind, and Nate Brennan, of course, of the Husker or the Ticket Water Cooler. You can see him a little bit in the background there if you're watching the stream. And, of course, of our producer here on the block. One more reminder, here in about 20 minutes, we're going to talk some fitness. It's Fit Talk Friday today on the block with Casey Carter of Louisville will be our guest today. But I did want to open up with something, Strick, that you mentioned going into the break. What do you do with the Cleveland Browns over-under right now if you're making a season total bet? I looked it up. The number that I found was 9.5. Now, that seems like an awful lot.
9.5.
A suspension, and that's still out in the air. The NFL is going for a little bit more. But I will say this, with Jacoby Brissett starting, the first 6 games aren't all that daunting for the Browns. You have Carolina against Jets, then taking on Pittsburgh. I mean, Jacoby Brissett might be the best quarterback of all those teams. Then at Atlanta, the Chargers, and New England. Of course, gets a little bit difficult there in the end with the Chargers in New England. But I think you got 4 winnable games even with Jacoby Brissett right there.
Well, here's the thing: 9.5 that was posted earlier in the season. You have them a -1 favorite over the Panthers, so we know that the schedule is very favorable for them in some instances. But let's really look at the full and the whole schedule, right? 2022 Browns schedule, they will see 10 games against teams who finished with a winning record a year ago, including 1 game against a team that had 12 wins or more. And they only face 3 games against squads with less than 6 wins. The best thing, like you just said, that's favorable for them is those early games. It's not the daunting task of having a gauntlet that they have to go through that I think Jacoby Brissett will be able to handle, right? We also see a 9.5 win total. That was posted prior to all of, the issues that came from the trade and the Deshaun Watson and the suspension and all of those things. But there's the betting news said, we're not touching this one. We don't want no parts of what's going on here. Their odds are not available. Every other team's got available odds, but the betting news say, we're not touching that one. Odds are not available for this team. So that's kind of what's out there right now. So we're gonna see. I really do hope that they can, Jacoby Brissett can. He's been a career. He started some, but he's been a career backup guy. I love the backup guy story. You know what I mean? I love the Randall Cunningham story. I love what's my guy? Doug with the Redskins. Doug Williams. Doug Williams. I love the Doug Williams story. I love the backup guy that comes in and Nick Foles. I love that story. He actually got a bag for that one. I love those types of stories, man, and I'm hoping that it works to his favor.
Well, I think there'll be one of very few cheering for the Browns, regardless of this. If that happens, I would probably think that the number, and of course it's all up in the air. I'd probably think the number would drop again. To me, I'd feel comfortable maybe at 7.5 to kind of reset that, maybe 2 games behind what they might currently have it at. What do you guys think? Would you touch the Browns?
Would you rather have the defense is still good, right? They still have a good defense. Yeah. I mean, would you take Jacoby Brissett or Baker Mayfield?
I guarantee that answer is Baker Mayfield. As a Colts fan, I've watched probably maybe the best overall roster in the NFL. When the first go-round with Jacoby Brissett, 3 games. The second go-round with Jacoby Brissett, 7 games.
He replaced Luck, right? He was after Luck?
Yes. He was after Luck, and then they had an experiment here and there, and then they came back to it.
But, I mean, last year's version of Baker Mayfield, obviously with the injured shoulder, wasn't good. But you're not hearing good things out of Carolina about Baker. He may not – I don't know how much he has left in the tank. I think, like you say, backup quarterback, just do enough not to get us, just manage the game, and you'll beat Carolina, the Jets, and probably Pittsburgh. to start the season.
Yeah, maybe 1 or 2 games.
Pittsburgh, I don't know.
With Kenny Pickett?
Is it going to be Kenny Pickett?
I don't
Is it
know.
going to be Mitch
Could be
Trubisky?
Trubisky.
Is it going to be Mason Rudolph? I mean, we don't know. The Steelers are a pretty good team. They don't have a quarterback, but say what you will, but the Steelers with Ben Roethlisberger, who couldn't move or throw, they still flirted with the playoffs and made the playoffs.
I think they win 3 of their first 4. Carolina, the Jets, Pittsburgh, Atlanta.
Ooh.
With that defense.
It's quite possible.
That defense is still good.
Yeah,
It's a weak start for 'em.
You're right. They got probably the best offensive line in the NFL and 2 of the best running backs.
Bill Callahan, baby.
That's right.
I don't know.
By the way, do you guys embrace the Hall of Fame game? Do you think that football has started now? Amir Abdullah's already scored. Or do you guys wait until, college football kicks off to say football's back?
Whatever. No, it was kind of a joke of a game, but it was like the
Right.
Nebraska game home host.
It wasn't that bad, but it was bad.
But yeah, I'm just happy. I like the practice reports and the stuff coming out and who's making rosters and all that type of stuff. Football's back because we're talking about it. Football's back because it is practice. Football's back because every single team, even Jacksonville, there's a little bit of optimism somewhere.
Yeah.
And that's almost the best part of the season. It's not because there's no games, but it is. Football's back.
You haven't
because-
lost a game yet.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Everybody's 0-0. And real quick
Everyone's
on the Browns,
undefeated.
this is what I think about the 9.5. During the commercial break, I am going to log in and I will be placing my bet on the unders.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Under
That's not
10
a bad idea.
Yeah.
Under 9.5.
Or 9.5. Yeah, I have to agree with that.
Yeah, and who knows?
I think I'd take the under. I think I'd take the under too, Bach, because I don't know how far under, but Gus says the Browns are 5-12, no matter what.
I don't know. Well, that's a good point, though. We also have to remember, out of all of this, they have a great offensive line, a pretty good defense. Deshaun Watson, a top 5 quarterback, possibly when healthy. Good addition with Amari Cooper. But with all that being said, Tom, don't forget this. They're still the Cleveland Browns.
X Factor.
Yeah, that's your X. Yes, that's the X Factor.
Yep. I
The,
can't argue.
the bag over the face Browns with the tears and the eyes cut out.
Uh-huh.
They're back to that, huh?
But I got to ask you guys about some of the other storylines too here. As it is the block party, we got the guys from Husker Rewind in. Are you offended by Kayla Caffey's decision to transfer to Texas? There are obviously Jordan Larson connection there. Obviously, Artie Akana is there. Does this offend you at all? Or, after all, Casey Thompson is going to start for Nebraska. He's a former Texas player. Is this just the new world of sports where you can't get too upset about it?
I think somebody wrote her a check.
Yeah.
And I think Nebraska wanted to keep her. I don't think John Cook was being dishonest when he said, hey, we really tried to keep her. And I think they probably did have an NIL deal set up for her. And they would have been able to take a hit and say, oh, we'll give up the scholarship next year because she's that good. I mean, Horde's really on one side and then Caffey on the other side. Those are 2 of the best blockers, I think, in the country. But you go to Texas because it's awesome. I mean, Austin, Texas is cool.
Yeah.
You're going to get a big check. She's going to get a scholarship and NIL money. I don't blame her. And she knows Akana. I don't blame her.
And they're good. Good program too, right, Tom? I mean, the program is solid.
Oh, yeah, that's a great program. I mean, but they don't have the fan support, but they certainly they have Austin. I mean, that's a great city.
It's it's a weird time to be a fan, though, to a degree, because the hatred for Texas used to be strong. I still see it sometimes on Twitter. A lot of people reacting to the news, but I was like, I just don't know how upset you could be when Casey Thompson, who, let alone being the son of an Oklahoma guy that beat you twice, including in the game of the century part 2, former Texas quarterback. I mean, it's strange. I don't know. The loyalty feels like it's going to be among the fans more so than the athletes these days, which has been a long time the case in professional sports.
Well, Marcus Washington too. From
there you another one.
Yeah, Caffey props to her. The one thing, and I want to touch on something you guys talked about last hour with NIL money. It's something when I've been a manager in my life and at various jobs, I'll always have a coworker that has a problem with how much money, because they find out there's another coworker that makes more money than they do. And I always ask, I say, well, did you ask for more money when you started? Well, no. How do you know they didn't? So, I mean, don't be jealous of what other people get. Focus on you and what you do and what your worth is. And if you're asking for raises and all that type of stuff, I mean, bottom line is, don't be mad if you're a Nebraska teammate or a teammate of anybody in college football right now with NIL. Don't be mad at Kayla Caffey for simply finding a better deal. And I don't think it's a problem right now, from what Scott Frost said, that NIL is an issue in the locker room, because Brody Belt didn't get a $500,000 NIL deal. If he could, and it's, his hometown, and there's some big ConAgra thing there or whatever, he may get it. And he's a guy that's a 4th or 5th string running back, and he's going to be on all the special teams. And you may have somebody that's jealous. Why are you jealous? Go get your own deal.
Yeah.
Don't be mad at the other guy for cashing in.
Well, the problem is that a lot has been pay for play, though. So, I mean, that's
True.
why guys have hit the portal. A loyalty. You almost hurt for your loyalty.
And that helps. And that's where I wanted to ask Strick, in your NBA locker room, Strick, was there jealousy over contracts, and did it ever affect the team?
I won't say that there was. I think there were some things talked about. I will say there could have been some subversion methods in competition, because somebody wanted your position and they knew by having it they could raise their bag level. So I know there was probably some of those things going on. I would say the competition in that aspect comes outside looking in. I think things went left when Juwan Howard got that big deal. I mean, people's eyes lit up, was like, what? I'm going for mine. I think that's kind of where it hit. And I would say that maybe there were people on his team that were looking at it, not necessarily on teams that I played on, because you pretty much knew. You kind of knew Jermaine O'Neal was that guy. Reggie Miller was deserving of that. You knew Dirk was going to get it. Michael Finley was the best guy on the team. You knew Paul Pierce and Antoine Walker were those guys. So I think everybody just kind of understood their roles and where they fit, and they just played and tried to raise their level of their bags. That's kind of that's the way I viewed it.
You had an interesting point earlier. You were talking about Aaron Rodgers, and you say there's a point sometimes in your career where you're playing for rings, and then there's a point where you're playing for cash. Did you go through those different stages in your career, or was it always about the ring?
Well, for me, it was that's my nature. Every time I stepped on the court. And I think, Tom, that was one of the most frustrating parts about my early days in Dallas, because as good as they were, as far as the talent that was on that team with Jamal Mashburn, Jimmy Jackson, Jason Kidd, and then the those that were surrounded about, I mean, they really didn't have a big, but those guys from the guard and the front court positions at the forward were solid. I mean, obviously, Popeye Jones, and I mean, if they could have had Otis Thorpe, I mean, not Otis Thorpe, but I can't remember his name. He got really caught into the drugs, but he was one of the better power forwards in that time. I can't remember his name right now. My mind's drew a blank on it. But they had a power forward there that was absolutely phenomenal. It just got caught in drugs. But yeah, man, I just think
that trailer, is it?
No. It was early Dallas years.
Okay.
If you go back to the old Dallas with the hat, Sauter Heyman text 9-402-464-5685. Power forward he was just as good as big draws. Mark Aguirre. He was one of them type of. I think it's not Old Thorpe, but I can't remember his name. But anyway, if you're able to help me on the Sauter Heyman text line, please do. But anyway. Yeah, man, I was very frustrated, Tom, with that team, because we would get out of games and we just took an L, and we shouldn't have. I mean, the other team may not have been as good, and everybody was worried about the wrong thing. And I'm sitting in the locker room, or I'm sitting in the elevator, and they're talking about some other stuff, and I'm like, dang, man, y'all don't want to win, and so that was really frustrating.
Strick, was it Roy Tarpley?
Roy Tarpley. That's the name. Roy Tarpley. Yes. If he could have stayed out of trouble and with those guys, if Roy Tarpley was around, I mean, then you add in Derek Harper, who was still, coming back and shoot, man, they had something. They had something there.
Real quick before we get once again, we are kind of going to make way here for Fit Talk Friday with Casey Carter of Aluva here in about 5 minutes. One more topic to get to with you guys before we do that. Michigan is honoring their 25th year anniversary of the 1997 team this year. They're going to do it against Penn State. Do you kind of wish they were going to do it against Nebraska? Do you think that would kind of help the build-up for the Michigan-Nebraska game, honoring the 97 championship team? I thought that would be an ultimate troll move from the Wolverines, but they're deciding not to.
I wish they would have.
Yeah, I would like that.
There's no way they're going to do that, though. Even at someone that's not from Nebraska, Michigan didn't win that national championship. They know Nebraska was the national champ. They don't want to do that.
They got the stupid woodshop trophy as well.
That's right.
We played Tennessee was a better football team than Washington. Was it Washington State Washington State that year that Michigan beat? There's no doubt Tennessee was a much better football team that Nebraska beat. I think Michigan would have been an easier game for Nebraska than Tennessee and Peyton Manning.
Yeah, well, they had a heck of a defense. I will give Michigan that, but even still, it does age pretty poorly that Nebraska beat Peyton Manning and Michigan beat Ryan Leaf. So that's kind of what those bowl games. Let's take a quick break. I see that Casey is about to plug in, so we'll get to Fit Talk Friday here on the Block Party on the Block on 93.7 The Ticket. That's coming up next. Stick with us.
My computer was a dinosaur, and our TV, well, let's just say it was definitely time for an upgrade. But finding a way wasn't so simple. And then I found it, a research study at Solarion. I searched the studies and found a perfect match for me. I earned cash for the study and was able to make those much-needed upgrades. Plus, I made an impact on medical research. Find a study and sign up today at helpresearch.com.
You should consider the risks of the research before you agree to participate.
James Enterprise Incorporated, that company that hauls your gravel, rocks, and material for your farm or construction site, says thank you to the people of the healthcare community for putting yourself in the way of danger to save the public. That is what it means to be a hero and to build a beautiful legacy. This message brought to you by James Enterprise Incorporated. For all your hauling of rock, gravel, and materials, call them at 402-432-6740. That's 402-432-6740.
Bagels and Joe is in full summer mode. They'll add cold foam to the top of any iced coffee. Plus, they now have a Joe Coffee Club. Get unlimited drip coffee for just $8.95 per month. And don't forget their delicious breakfast burritos and sandwiches. Bagels and Joe, 4 Lincoln locations.
At first, I was really nervous and intimidated to buy a ring. I wasn't sure what I was getting into.
My experience at Starter Heyman was very easy. I felt like I walked out of Starter Heyman with the ring that was going to make her go wow and say yes.
I love my ring. It is so beautiful. I absolutely love my ring. I get compliments on it all the time. I always tell them Starter Heyman. Yeah, we would definitely recommend Starter Heyman.
Yeah, it was great.
We're definitely coming back. Sure. Sutter Heyman Jewelers, Lincoln and Grand Island. SutterHeyman.com.
Landmark Implement, your local John Deere dealership, is searching for mechanics of all skill levels to grow with us. Landmark offers a competitive wage, full benefits package, along with paid time off within just 60 days of employment, as well as a 401k and a boot and clothing allowance. Interested in becoming a part of the Landmark difference? Apply now at landmarkimp.com/careers or contact Deanna 402-310-7561 or email careers@landmarkimp.com. That's landmarkimp.com. Landmark Implement is the equal opportunity employer.
There's a lot of realtors in Lincoln, but don't get overwhelmed by all the names. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realtor Group at Berkshire Hathaway Ambassador Real Estate is your go-to option when buying or selling residential and commercial property. Ben's team offers unbeatable customer service and promises to make the buying and selling process as stress-free as possible. Call Ben today at 402-419-6309 for all your real estate needs. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realty Group at Berkshire Hathaway Ambassador Real Estate. No pressure, just professionalism.
You know that feeling after a good, hearty meal? The worries of the world just slip away. Time slows down. Nothing but good times and good company. That's what you get with Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. Mary Ellen's does food right, with a menu that includes smoked wings, pulled pork, brisket, catfish. And don't sleep on their sides, shrimp and grits, collard greens, baked beans. It's food that makes your heart happy. Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul, just east of 27th and Pineland. Let them fix you a plate.
Hey, buying a used vehicle sucks, and the biggest problem is who can you trust? Hey, this is Carl from Price Right Auto out here at West O Street in Lincoln. Here's what customers have told us they want from us. They want transparent pricing with no games. We have all of our pricing on our website, plus a Carfax report. We don't want to buy a lemon. We include a 3-month warranty on all of our vehicles. We don't want to play games. Just make it simple. We saw that with non-commissioned salespeople. Can you trust us? Just check out our Google reviews. Again, this is Carl from Price Right Auto in West O. Check us out at PriceRightAuto.com.
There's nothing quite like the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese beef. The Mercado offers unique ingredients you can't find anywhere else, open every day from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. The full-service butcher shop and retail store is wonderful for meat lovers with their exclusive certified Piedmontese beef and assorted sausages, plus other quality meats, including pork, chicken, and a wide range of the freshest seafood. Plus, every Friday from 11 to 2, the Mercado serves up the best lunch in town on their Friday Feast menu. Stop in at the Mercado today at 84th and Havelock or visit their website at cpmercado.com to see current deals. Are you sick of mindlessly running on a treadmill or the lack of motivation to consistently work out? Whatever your challenge, Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping can help. Whether you want to lose weight, boost energy, or simply improve your overall health, you'll fit right in at Farrell's regardless of age or abilities. Build endurance with their kickboxing and strength training group fitness classes while also getting nutrition coaching. Try Farrell's now for a free week. Visit fxblincoln.com or call Jeff at 402-310-4026. Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping.
I'm Smokey Bear, and I made an assistant to help you out because only you can prevent wildfires.
Hey, Assistant Smokey Bear. Call me Papa Bear because I'm grilling up dinner. Do you get it?
Yes, good job.
So what should I do with all these coals?
Don't just toss them out. Put them in a metal container because those embers can start a wildfire.
I understand. The stakes are high.
Ha, 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 ha.
Learn more at smokeybear.com.
Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Back to On the Block with Strick and Bach on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Yay! We're hot on the block right now. Thank you, Blockheads, for joining us on the block. We have a wonderful guest today. We're starting off. This is the first day of many to come. Fit Talk Friday, joining the block party, and we're going to have it right here on the block. 93.7 The Ticket, theticketfm.com. We have joining us right now from the company that I've happened to just get a taste of just a few weeks ago. And I've been absolutely excited about what they're doing, and what they're bringing to the table. We have Casey Carter joining us from Aluva, the company that's changing things. My body is changing right now. So we're going to talk about it. Fit Talk Friday. Thanks for joining us today, Casey. How you doing?
If I was any better, there'd be two of me.
So Casey, you're going to be the first one. You're the first one to join us. Tell us a little bit about Aluva, how it came about, what was the brain trust behind it, and what are you trying to do because there's so many products out there today. There's so many people that are offering things in order to affect, mental or health or body or whatever they're trying to change. But what makes you uniquely different compared to other things out there in the marketplace?
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me on, man. I appreciate it. It's kind of crazy because in this space, the supplement space, a lot of people don't even realize it just takes a little bit of money. You can go out and raise some money, open up an LLC, and you can walk right into a manufacturer and say, I want an energy product, for $5. And they'll bring one off the shelf, and then they slap your label on it, and then they create a story. Right. And what we've got is something very special. My best friend is actually our formulator and our CEO. And he's been a formulator for 14 plus years. And what's crazy is, when this whole pandemic thing hit, something happened. People are more aware of their health now than ever before. And they're realizing the importance of really good supplementation. Now, my buddy Gavin has, invested a lot into the alternative medical space over the past 6 years. He's owned like 9 medical clinics, alternative medical clinics, I should I should relay. So he really understood the importance of the raw ingredients and where your ingredients are sourced from. So he actually, instead of just picking something off the shelf, he hired a team of scientists and doctors and really formulated a product line that almost anybody's never even seen, right? Because right now I can go out and I can get vitamin C that's 40% bioavailable and 99% bioavailable. They both look the identical same on a supplement label. You can't really tell the difference, right? So what we've done is we've formulated a product line with all of our ingredients are 99% bioavailable. On top of that, is every single one of our active ingredients has a human clinical research attached to it. And every single one of our formulas match the human clinical research with the dosaging and the quality. Because it's kind of a funny little thing. You can put together marketing great just by having a product that has, for instance, spirulina in it. And then, you can pull up the benefits of spirulina and just put together really cool marketing for it. And they reference all the benefits of spirulina. Well, if you look at the human clinical research of spirulina, it requires 400 milligrams of 99% bioavailable spirulina, right? And what they do is they put, 40 milligrams of a 60% bioavailable spirulina, but they reference all the studies of the benefits of spirulina. So it's kind of like a marketing, game that these supplement companies play. We wanted to completely be transparent and change the game and set a completely new standard when it comes to the health and wellness space. And I'll tell you, the products are just unreal.
They're unreal. And listen, I started taking it about 2 weeks ago. One of the things that was really interesting to me was the story about leaky gut. And I had tried everything. I'd done keto. I'd done pretty much every different diet plan because I just could not get rid of this gut area. Mm-hmm. And 2 weeks ago, I took some pictures. I said, I'm gonna give this a shot, and came down and met you guys in Utah. And I started taking the greens. I take all of them now, but I really started with the greens, and I was tremendously felt so good mentally. My focus began to come back. My movements got more regular. And in 2 weeks, I saw a significant change in my body in the way that it looked. We're going to talk about greens today. We're not going to get into all the products because we're going to bring you back probably once a month to get into all the products. Tell us about greens, because I've tasted greens before, and it is some of the nastiest stuff that other people have put together. And I had to mask it with energy drinks and orange juice and all that. So tell us about greens and what makes that unique and special.
Absolutely. Well, you bring up the biggest point is leaky gut syndrome. Most people don't even know what leaky gut syndrome is, because you can't be diagnosed with leaky gut with your normal doctor. You have to go to an alternative medical clinic or a holistic doctor, right? And if you dive deep into what leaky gut even is, I mean, it causes all autoimmune diseases, skin disorders, behavioral disorders, any gastrointestinal disorder. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. That would take me 20 minutes just to talk about that. And it's kind of crazy that all of these elements come from leaky gut syndrome. So if you're able to fix leaky gut, then the game changes completely, right? So with our greens, the whole reason they even taste so good is because we took all of the benefits of the grasses like oat grass, barley grass, alfalfa grass, wheatgrass. We put the benefits in an Excel spreadsheet side by side with all of your super greens like kale, spinach, and matcha. All of the benefits that were in the grasses were in the super greens, except the super greens have far more benefits. So we actually got rid of the grasses completely. And, most people that take a greens product, they're like, man, I feel like I should be a cow. Like, I don't like the taste of this stuff. This just tastes like grass, right? So we got rid of all those, that tart, nasty tasting stuff. And we put some amazing, amazing ingredients in there. Every single one of the ingredients matched the human clinical research with spirulina, kale, beetroot powder, matcha. I mean, matcha, the benefits of matcha is just unbelievable. But we have something super special in our greens. Okay. We have the #1 pre and probiotic in the world. In fact, A group of scientists in Denmark found this about 14 years ago. We've got over 10 years of human clinical research on our pre and probiotics proving that it will heal a leaky gut in 14 days. And that right there is unbelievable. Now, mind you, you get leaky gut from the things that you put into your body. Eric, the worst thing that people do when it comes to supplementation is they take a supplement, but yet they don't change their lifestyle and they expect the supplement to change their life, right? You've got to recognize what's causing the issue and make those changes as well. But the simple fact that this will heal a leaky gut in 14 days is monumental. I'm going to repeat, monumental. Leaky gut, there's the statistics are, I think it's about right around 7% of our nation has a diagnosed leaky gut, and 82% of our nation has an undiagnosed leaky gut. Think of the impact that we're going to have on the world when it comes to just fixing the gut, because your gut controls your entire body, even your brain health. It's absolutely amazing. So, and if you look up the benefits of matcha, and our matcha is the #1 matcha in the world, it's 99% bioavailable. Everybody knows that there's caffeine in matcha. Okay, my buddy Gavin actually did a process to extract the caffeine out of the matcha that came from Japan and nano-size the particles so nothing is damaged. 99% of it gets through the blood-brain barrier, and there's no caffeine in it. There it is right there. I love the stick packs because you travel around with them. And I mean, it's just amazing, amazing. But the reason for pulling the caffeine out of the matcha is this. Think about this for a minute. Okay. Think of the impact that this company is going to have on our future generations. Okay. So many people don't think about the impact on our future generations, our children. But then again, what kid is going to want to run around craving, a green drink? Not many, until they take the product. But because I'm here to tell you, it tastes amazing and the kids love it. In fact, my wife and I, we have a son that he had epilepsy. Yes, had epilepsy and autism. What this is doing to his health is unbelievable. We dealt with, I don't even know how many seizures a month. It was insane. We put him on the products. We have not seen one seizure since. We made some adjustments in his lifestyle, but I'm here to tell you, and no medications. It's crazy. We just implemented good quality ingredients that are sourced from the best places in the world to create a product line that's not just a marketing ploy. Because that drives me crazy is the marketing stuff that I see on all these products that are out in the marketplace right now. But then when you look at the quantities and where they're sourcing their ingredients from, it's crazy. It's almost toxic. It's almost toxic because just because it's natural doesn't mean it's good for you, right? I mean, poison ivy is natural. You don't go and roll around in it.
Good. Go ahead, guys.
Yeah, I did want to ask you, I mean, as you're talking about it, what is the taste? Is it going to be similar? Or are there different flavors that you can get? Or what, I mean, because when you're saying that it tastes good, I can still just kind of think like, what does that mean? Like fruity? What is the taste kind of like?
It's berry flavored.
Okay.
And do you know what? Kids love it. They think it's their juice. They absolutely love it. I mean, what we've seen this greens do for people, unreal. What we've seen it do for nursing mothers, unreal.
You hear all the time that we're carrying around toxins in our body, like from years and years and years. Is that what it's getting rid of? Is it when you're talking about leaky gut?
No. So what happens is leaky gut syndrome is like the microbiome in our stomach. There's holes and gaps in it, and it actually leaks into your body. And so, and it also creates like when you eat food will get stuck in all these holes in our inner lining of our stomach. Well, what that does is it creates toxicity. It creates bad bacteria, right? And you can't get rid of it. When you have a leaky gut, and think about this. How many times have you heard people saying, when I hit like 40, I gained a bunch of weight, and it doesn't matter what I eat. I can't lose the weight. It doesn't matter how much I exercise. And here's the reason is because with a leaky gut, it doesn't matter what you're putting in. Your stomach is not allowing the nutrients to be absorbed from the food. And so this now is literally allowing your nutrients to be able to be absorbed properly, and how God intended our bodies to operate.
Yeah. That's absolutely phenomenal. I'm going to let somebody ask one more question before we get you out of here. But I do want to just attest that it's been amazing with my focus. It's been amazing with my energy levels, where I used to feel as I needed to take a nap at least one time a day. Between this and the energy drink, the Ignite that I take, I have really good focus and energy throughout the day. And I didn't want to take it from a standpoint of being active in the gym. I wanted to see how it was going to affect me just with normal activities. And I must say that I'm extremely impressed with what it's done with my body, how I feel, how my mind is actually responding as well. So kudos to Aluva. Thank you guys for what you're doing. One other question before we get out of here.
Well, just a reminder, first of all, this is Fit Talk Friday. We have Casey Carter of Aluva joining us. Some questions off the text line about, what the product we're talking about right now is greens, and how do people get involved? How do they get their hands a hold of this stuff?
Well, listen, this is it. We've created a company that we wanted to give the profit back to people spreading the word, right? So, like, if you want to just get on the product, Eric can give you a place. You can just go, just like any other normal website, right? We don't force people to go and create an account and get put on an email blast list. You can literally just go to the website, click the products, scroll down. You can see the products, add it to your cart, check out. Nobody will bug you. I mean, it's absolutely amazing.
So if you're streaming in right now, you can see it right here. It's www.aluva. Think of ALUVA.co/E/E/strict20, where you can find me on my Twitter, where you can find, that's how you can tap into Aluva, because I've tapped in, and we hoping that you have the opportunity to do so as well. Aluva.co/E/E/strict20 is where you can go to get your Aluva today. Hey, listen, Casey, thank you once again for taking time out of your busy schedule. I know you. I got a chance to have some wonderful conversations. You got a wonderful family. Your testimony about your son is one of the things that helped me. But also the product that you guys are developing right now that has not come off, dealing with the 3rd-degree burns, is going to blow the doors off of everything that's out there. That set me, when I saw what you did with 3rd-degree burns from 1 day to 10, when other people were getting amputated and different things like that, the grafts weren't taken, but what your product was able, to do with that is going to blow the doors off of everything out there. One last thing, tell us about Aluva and what we're going to get into as well, and what combinations would work good for somebody maybe that's looking to tighten up and have a hot boy or hot girl summer. Like what combination would work for them?
We've got several products. Well, actually, we've got 4 products that are actually available to the public right now. And I'm on 3 products that aren't out yet, but I'll tell you, man, those 3 products are unreal. But listen, we do not do things normal. As I told you, like I was talking about the greens and the different products that we put in that. The pre and probiotics normally are a standalone product. Okay. And we did the same exact thing with our weight loss product, right? Weight loss comes from several different verticals, but our weight loss product combined with the greens, because you need to fix the inner lining of your stomach. Okay. But then when you get on the weight loss product, everything is, veggie based. So it's all plant-based ingredients, but we don't just boost your metabolism like every other company. Okay. We boost your metabolism, curb your appetite, antioxidant, antidepressant, anti-stress, all in one product. It's unbelievable because all of those verticals affect our weight, and we eliminate all of those in one product, not 5 different SKUs.
Great stuff. Thank you, Casey, for joining us here.
Absolutely.
Fit Talk Friday, the first one of many to come. Casey Carter from Aluva joining us. We are still on the Black Party. It isn't over. It don't stop. It can't stop, won't stop. But we've got to take a break right now, and we'll return to finish up the segment of On the Block right here, 93.7 The Ticket, theticketfm.com. Check in on Aluva when you get an opportunity. Always available to you. On the Block. We'll be right back after this.
There's nothing quite like the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese beef. The Mercado offers unique ingredients you can't find anywhere else, open every day from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. The full-service butcher shop and retail store is wonderful for meat lovers with their exclusive certified Piedmontese beef and assorted sausages, plus other quality meats, including pork, chicken, and a wide range of the freshest seafood. Plus, every Friday from 11 to 2, the Mercado serves up the best lunch in town on their Friday Feast menu. Stop in at the Mercado today at 84th and Havelock or visit their website at cpmercado.com to see current deals.
Action Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electric is the call I make when I have a need for plumbing services. Whether it's for my home or office, if I need a repair to a water heater, softener, or even my garbage disposal, I know I can count on Action to help. In one simple call, their amazing customer service team promptly schedules a service call, often getting to my needs within a day. Action delivers honest quality services we can count on. To learn more, visit actionlincoln.com.
Hey, buying a used vehicle sucks, and the biggest problem is who can you trust? Hey, this is Carl from Price Right Auto out here at West O Street in Lincoln. Here's what customers have told us they want from us. They want transparent pricing with no games. We have all of our pricing on our website, plus a Carfax report. We don't want to buy a lemon. We include a 3-month warranty on all of our vehicles. We don't want to play games. Just make it simple. We saw that with non-commissioned salespeople. Can you trust us? Just check out our Google reviews. Again, this is Carl from Price Right Auto in West O. Check us out at pricerightauto.com.
At first, I was really nervous and intimidated to buy a ring. I wasn't sure what I was getting into.
My experience at Starter Heyman was very easy. I felt like I walked out of Starter Heyman with the ring that was going to make her go wow and say yes.
I love my ring. It is so beautiful. I absolutely love my ring. I get compliments on it all the time. I always tell them Starter Heyman. Yeah, we would definitely recommend Starter Heyman.
Yeah, it was great.
We're definitely coming back.
Sure.
Sutter Heyman Jewelers, Lincoln and Grand Island. SutterHeyman.com.
Old School with DP and J.
Us as past players are tired of the expectations being down and no pressure. It has to be the exact opposite. You know, last time I talked to one of the players on the team, and he's like, I want to prove everybody wrong. I was like, no, you need to prove yourself and everybody that believes in you right. You're here. And so now you need to prove everybody right, including yourself, by embracing and setting the expectations to the standard that you need to live by every day.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Bagels and Joe is in full summer mode. They'll add cold foam to the top of any iced coffee. Plus, they now have a Joe Coffee Club. Get unlimited drip coffee for just $8.95 per month. And don't forget their delicious breakfast burritos and sandwiches. Bagels and Joe, 4 Lincoln locations.
They say one great thing leads to another. And that's especially true when you visit a Great Clips salon. When you sit down for a haircut with the skilled and friendly stylist at one of our thousands of convenient Great Clips locations, they'll not only make your hair look great, they'll make you feel great too. And that's something you can't help but share with the world. Download our online check-in app today and opt in to get a ready next text when you're up next. Great Clips. It's going to be great.
Eustace Body Shop, where our customers send their friends. That's the greatest compliment we can receive. If you've been in an accident, we'll get you back in your vehicle as quickly as possible. Our technicians care about you and your family and repair your vehicle to factory standards. We handle your claim from start to finish and provide a free loaner car. Stop by for a free estimate. Eustace Body Shop, just south of 88th and Highway 2.
The most recommended Eustace Body Shop. That's who we are.
Working at Continental in Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now they've raised wages again and they're hiring for production operators at $22.58 per hour. And other select jobs is starting at $24.28 per hour, with wages growing up to $30.30 per hour. Continental also has salary jobs available and great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates. To learn more or to apply, go to continental-jobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today.
Are you sick of mindlessly running on a treadmill or the lack of motivation to consistently work out? Whatever your challenge, Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping can help. Whether you want to lose weight, boost energy, or simply improve your overall health, you'll fit right in at Farrell's regardless of age or abilities. Build endurance with their kickboxing and strength training group fitness classes while also getting nutrition coaching. Try Farrell's now for a free week. Visit fxblincoln.com or call Jeff at 402-310-4026. Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping.
The Ticket Water Cooler with Jake Bakoven and Nathan Brennan.
Let's take it a step further. If Nebraska wins the division, that means they go to the Big Ten championship. They win the Big Ten championship, that means they go to the playoff. They go to the playoff, now we're cooking with gas. I don't agree with you. I don't know what to tell you. That's ridiculous.
Weekdays from 3 to 4 on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
When you're high, you feel different. You think different, you talk different, you draw different, you listen to music different, but you probably knew that. Problem is, you also drive different, and not in a good way. That's why driving high is illegal everywhere. So if you're high, just don't drive. Make a plan to get a sober ride. Because if you feel different, you drive different. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Back to On the Block with Strick and Bach on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We are wrapping up things here for the week on the block. This is the Block Party on 93.7 The Ticket. We've got the guys from Husker Rewind, Mike Melby, Tom Stevens here with us. And how's Husker Rewind going, by the way, guys?
It's good. We're going to 2 hours very soon. We haven't told DP yet, so we probably should. Hey, DP, if you're listening, we're going to 2 hours. No, I think he's good with that. It'll be more to come as far as the information on that is concerned.
Yeah, the one thing that we walk out of here every Sunday night, we go, yeah, you know what? This could have gone probably 3 hours tonight.
Oh, yeah.
We have our research and everything that we do prior to the show, and we don't hit 5 topics.
We appreciate you guys to help us promote it. I mean, you and Strick are great together, and being on the Block Party really helps. That's for sure.
Yeah. We have fun bringing you guys in every Friday to talk about various topics. The one that we wanted to get to here before we end is kind of interesting ticket sales that we've seen over the last couple of weeks. South Carolina and Rutgers are now selling ticket packages at Costco. What do you guys think of that? I don't know. I've never seen somebody use that tactic so far.
I like it. Well, you get a free lawnmower with that as well. Nebraska's got some interesting ones where you get one Oklahoma ticket and you get the Georgia Southern game and North Dakota. You get 2 tickets. Yeah, you get 2 tickets for those games. I like that. Nebraska's gone with the red carpet experience. I think anything you can do to try to, make it a little more for the average fan. Like there's a lot of fans that can't afford season tickets for Husker football, but I can do 3 games for the non-conference and pay $270. I like it. And they probably, Costco is probably, advertising with them as well. It's a great idea.
Yeah, I think it is. I was with the Stars organization when they were at the top of their game. They were putting 5,000 people in the building. And as some bleachers wore out, et cetera, and the tickets were all of a sudden, was becoming almost a struggle to sell every single game out. Mm-hmm. They went, well, what if we just shrunk the number of seats? So they went from 5,012 to 4,612 and then down to 4,210. And it helped keep the demand up for the tickets. But, we had to get really creative and do smaller ticket package, half season, 10 game, all that type of stuff. And it's a struggle. And for the first time in, since 1962, Nebraska has to worry about selling tickets and whatever they can do. I hope they don't resort to selling them at Costco. Nothing against Costco, but it's a little embarrassing.
More of a Sam's Club guy yourself?
Yeah. If it was
their pizza's
Club,
good.
I'd be fine.
I like Costco.
Well, and that's the thing about the traditions of it, right? I think people are trying to figure out ways to become more creative in ways that they're able to, get people outside of the spectrum of maybe that they have connective points to, in getting them to buy game tickets, right? I think it went a little bit far when they started putting the stuff on the the uniforms and stuff, the QR codes. But I think it's pretty creative for organizations like that. But obviously Nebraska's a little bit uniquely different, and it's got a major history in that area. But that's just my thought.
Yeah, I just kind of think it's funny if you're, a Rutgers fan and you look at you all of a sudden see the ticket package, you go, all right, put back the lifetime supply of toothpicks and those couple swim trunks that we got. We're getting tickets to Rutgers football, baby. That's right. So that's kind of funny. Rutgers and South Carolina both have resorted to Costco sales for ticket sales. Before we get out of here, I did want to ask you guys if you had a chance to listen to the Scott Frost press conference, and seemed like you all but proclaimed Casey Thompson the starter, at least in my mind. Had some nice things to say about O'Shawn Mathis. What did you guys take away from it?
Well, the Casey Thompson thing, I think you want to know, did Chubba Purdy have a chance? And apparently he never did. And I mean, I thought it's an ongoing competition. I'm sure they'll say that to a certain degree, but I think it's important early in camp to anoint your quarterback. And if it fails, then you can move on from there. But O'Shawn Mathis, that apparently he's the real deal. That was encouraging for me. In Nebraska, we know that Nebraska's one of the big weaknesses. They haven't had a pass rush since Randy Gregory left town. And if he's Randy Gregory even half that good, welcome aboard, because that was just music to my ears that maybe Nebraska has a pass rusher to go with a Garrett Nelson.
The thing that stuck out the most to me was Frost talk on special teams, where he said that he was walking to practice this morning and he asked a couple of guys, what's the toughest part of practice for you? And a majority of the guys said special teams.
Yeah.
When we go through special teams, that's the toughest part of practice. That's encouraging. It just is. It's 4 giant dumpsters all in a row, one with 2021, then 2020, 19 and 18, and they're all on fire.
Sets the tone for everything.
Nebraska special teams. And maybe it'll be different this year.
I think one last thing too for me is that there's no NIL concerns. That means that they feel that that's a good space for them to be able to rein in and bring in some talent to get them here. Now the next thing is, once they're here, what type of coaching staff are we going to have to be able to coach them up to be even better than when they arrive?
Yeah, there's a lot to break down from the Scott Frost press conference. A lot of fun. They're going to have a scrimmage tomorrow, and I know VJ, of course, is going to be there. The captain's going to be there, so maybe you hear a little bit about that on Monday. Thanks again to the guys from Husker Rewind, Tom Stevens and Mike Melby, for joining us here on the block for our block party. And thank you to Strick again out there. We'll see you next week, right? You're going to be back in town?
Back in town next week before I go to Dublin, baby.
That's right. You've got that Dublin trip planned. So as a lot of Husker fans do as well, we're all counting down to that opening game, week 0 against Northwestern, and start to avenge some of those downfalls from last season. So that's what we'll be looking forward to. Football season is here. The Hall of Fame game was yesterday. Man, it is a great time of the year. So we'll talk to you guys on Monday. Thanks again, and once again, have a great weekend.
My computer was a dinosaur, and